Flashback. You remember that game? Well, I hope you do. Well, if you do, that's why you're watching this review. Yes, it's going to be a review of the original Flashback game. Now, the version of the game I'm going to be reviewing is on the Mega Drive, but I have another copy on the Atari Jaguar. The Jaguar, I hear you ask? Yes, I own an Atari Jaguar, and I have a copy of Flashback on it. And to be fair, I'm going to show you the Mega Drive version and the Atari Jaguar version next to each other so you can compare them. Because bearing in mind the Jaguar is meant to be 64-bit and the Mega Drive is a lowly 16-bit. So let's see how they stand up to each other, shall we? Not a great deal of difference in between the two of them, but as I said, it's the Mega Drive one I'm going to be reviewing, so let's start it, shall we? First things first, you have 3 different modes of play: easy, normal and hard. I usually play it on normal. Easy is a little bit too easy and hard is too damn hard. And you've got a password screen, which is great. Right, let's start at the beginning. As you can see, you get a nice little video going on here. Bearing in mind this is the Mega Drive version, so there's no full motion video like on the Mega CD. So we have to rely on what the Mega Drive can produce. And it looks pretty damn good actually for an intro. And you'll be having cutscenes all the way through the game to progress the story. It is very well done. So this is our protagonist Conrad. Conrad's trying to get away. He's just broken out of prison. He's making a break for it. But unfortunately he gets shot down. And that's the start of the game. Now this is where you start. This is the first level. Now Conrad wakes up and he's got no memory. He can't remember who he is or what he's got to do, but he does know how to handle himself with a handgun apparently, so that's not too bad. As you can see, the graphics in this game are very, very smooth, and the animation for Conrad, the guy in general, is very well done. Now here's a really helpful little trick. I don't know if it works on all formats, but it does work on the Mega Drive. Get really close to the wall, run away from it, press tab A and then press the opposite direction back. But make sure you know where you're going or you'll just die. Now essentially this game is a puzzle solving game, but it still has its bit of action too, as you can probably see. Now at the end of level 1 we're treated to a little intro to lead us into level 2. How neat is that? Now level 2 is a big level, and I mean big. It takes a long time to do. Give up the best part of an afternoon. And this bit I was stuck on for ages. You see this jump looks quite easy, doesn't it? Well, you try it then. No, press the button. No, didn't jump. I don't know what's wrong with him. He missed it. Stupid control pad. Try it again. No, bloody missed it again. So, look through the instructions. None of this seems to be helping. I think I'll have another go anyway. No, missed it again. Bollocks! Alright, I'm just going to run at it and see what happens. And this is exactly what I did originally. What? Yep, you're not supposed to jump. Just run at things and you jump automatically. Dumbass. Anyway, so after that jump was successfully completed, we got onto the rest of level 2. And as I said, it's one big level. Looks like I'm outnumbered, but I've got a shield, so I might as well use it. Ooh, shot in the back. What a cheap shot. Get used to these flying irritating purple guys, because they're in the game a lot, and they really piss me off. Anyway, so now we meet up with your mate. Alright, Ian, how you doing, mate? Come on. And we find out Conrad's backstory and why his memory's gone. So, this is essentially the story of the game now. Everything's summed up in this bit. He's got this special device which he wears, which enables him to detect the fact that there's aliens among us who are disguising themselves, ready to take over the Earth. So that's quite a revelation, isn't it? I'd like one of them lenses as well, but for other reasons. We won't go into that. So, yeah, he knows that he's being pursued now by the aliens, so he feels his life's in danger. So what he does, he sends his memories over to Ian just in case anything happens to him. And lo and behold, it does. He gets shot in the back. Wait for it. Wait for it. Bang! Yeah! And then he's taken to prison and he breaks out, and there we've gone full circle back to the beginning of the game. Don't you like that? That's great. So now Conrad says, I've got to get to Earth, and Ian says you're going to need false papers to do that, to play in a game called Death Tower, and the first prize of Death Tower is a one-way trip to Earth. So the only way that he's going to get there is by winning that game. But he's got to get the false papers of somebody called Jack. So off I go to find Jack. Last name, shit. So off I go to hunt down the Jack. So I go to the bar, but Jack's not there for some reason. I thought he would have been. Anyway, I find Jack, but Jack won't do me the false papers unless I pay him. Bloody hell, he wants a lot of money. I told you his name was Jack shit, didn't I? So now I've got to get myself a job to earn the money to pay him to go into the game. Good God, that's convoluted. Give me a break. So now I've got to go and get a job. Good God, this game's flipping awkward. So I have to go to get a work permit, because I'm not allowed to work unless I get a work permit. So I go to the administration centre so that I can get myself a work permit, so that I can get a job, so that I can pay the forger to forge me the papers, so that I can get into the game to get a trip down to Earth. Anyway, so after that I have to go and get a job, and this is where you go, mission screen. So this is going to be my job. What are we going to do today? 100 credits. Do you know how long it's going to take me to earn enough bloody money to pay old Jackface? God, bloody hell. Anyway, after about 3 or 5 missions, I can't quite remember, of shooting or escorting VIPs, you manage to get your money together. Also, remember to charge your energy. I'm telling you, you are really going to need it. Anyway, eventually now you make it to Death Tower and you start the tournament. It's literally a progression of levels where you have to fight your way through to be the ultimate winner. Sound familiar? Of course, a running man, let's face it, it's blindingly obvious, isn't it? I'll be back. Anyway, Death Tower is essentially this. You've got these irritating purple, speedy, sprinty guys and these bloody cameras that keep following you around. And it's just a progression of levels. Once you've done it, you're set and you're on your way to Earth. I'm a winner! Give me the ticket. Come on, give me the ticket. Hey, where'd it go? Hey, you ripped me off. Well, after that, we eventually start on our way to Earth. On a very, very slow spaceship. Let's pick up the pace. Come on, come on. There we go. Okay, so we eventually now arrive on Earth. What do you want? Papers? Papers? You're not getting any paperwork off me. So after my hostile negotiations with that gentleman, we carry on the game. Now, you know what that purple guy's going to do? Yep, you guessed it. Have you noticed in the game that the music only starts when you know there's going to be some action? That's really nicely done. So you have a little bit of background effect, but you know when you're going to have a fight or a battle to get the mood changed, you get a little bit of music. Very nicely done. It's a very subtle touch, but works very well. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the only way to kill these guys is to literally crouch down and roll from left to right and shoot them. If you stand up, it's suicide. There's only one way to kill them, and that's called combat rolls. At the end of the level, we're greeted to yet another little video explaining a bit more of the plot and story. Luckily for me, they're discussing their diabolical plan. But unluckily for me, I didn't check to see if it was secure enough to take my own weight. Bugger it. So now I've got myself caught. Again. So I wake up in prison. And they've taken my handgun. So I don't have a lot of options. You know, that was really spiteful, purple guy. So what are the options? Run! Whoops. There you go. You see how handy that trick was then? It was marvellous, wasn't it? Look at that idiot. Now he's stuck. I better get out of the way. I think he's trying to get me still. Options. Jump to the left and then jump to the right, or left to right or right to left. Oh dear, let's just go up. Actually, you know what? I am a bit lost at the moment. It's been a long time since I played this, but you know what? My little trick of getting through walls always comes in handy, so this looks as good a place as any. Sod it, is all I can say. Luckily, we do have the password screen, and unlike a lot of games, the passwords are small. But if you make one mistake, you have to go back and do it all over again, which is a real pain in the arse. Okay, so let's try the level again, shall we? Stop hitting me! And as you can remember, I still don't have a handgun, but I do remember where we can locate one. So let's play a little trick on him. If he goes up, I'll go down. And if I'm not mistaken, that's my handgun. Good for me. Now he's vanished. Miserable little sod. This escaping from the prison level, I've got to be honest, in all seriousness, is quite a tricky one to get round. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cheat, because it's been a long time since I played it, and that walking through the wall trick does come in very handy sometimes. But yes, I know it destroys the puzzle element of the game, I understand that, but for the purposes of this review, you understand why I'm doing it. So, yes, on to the next one, I think. Anyway, at the end of the last level, I find a teleporting device, and I teleport myself to the alien's planet. All that time getting to Earth just to teleport myself out of it again. Pain in the arse! So I'm on the alien ship now, and these are the aliens when they're not disguised as humans. And they're a right pain in the arse because they won't stand still. But as I've said previously, combat roles is the only way. Standing up is absolute suicide, so you can see this is the best way to get them. But having said that, they're still a pain. Stand still! Flipping heck, how many shots do these idiots take? Come on! Mind you, I'm not getting a lot of shots off at the moment because he won't stop. Okay, let's sum things up for the story, alright? Because I could go on playing this game forever, but the best way for you to enjoy it is to play it yourselves. Eventually I find a person called Philip. He dies, but I get his nuclear charge. He's a prisoner on the planet, if you wondered how he got there. And I blow their planet up, and the threat of the aliens is over. Okay? So, Conrad lived and got away. But unfortunately for Conrad, he doesn't know where he is. He's somewhere in space, could be anywhere. He's got a ship. Earth isn't on any of the charts. So what does he do? He does what is a cliched thing from a certain film. And I'm going to point out that certain film now. Yes, Alien. You remember what happens at the end of Alien when she doesn't know where to go? She puts herself into cryogenic sleep. And he does exactly the same thing. And there we have it. Flashback the game. Flashback is a superb game. It's a superb story, very well executed, great animation. Difficulty is at sometimes a bit frustrating, but you persevere with it, and it's very, very rewarding. What a great game, man. It took elements out of films. Do you remember The Running Man? The film where Schwarzenegger has to play in a game show to gain his freedom. This is very similar because he has to do a show so that he can get back to Earth. So there you can see the tie-in. And also, the other one I forgot was Total Recall, where he has to get his memory back. He goes back to Mars. Well, it's very similar to this game again. And obviously, the ending is, you know, directly taken from Alien. There's no two ways about it. But that's very well done to put all those elements of films into one game and pull it off so superbly. So that's Flashback for you. Hope you enjoyed the review. Now, there's a few other little parts of the game that I've left out, purely on the basis that I didn't want to tell you everything. So if you want to find out what they are, you have to play the game. And there's another game that's very similar to Another World in Flashback, and it's called And I'll just quickly show it to you so you've got some idea what I'm on about. Keys are downstairs. You know what? I wonder if that works in real life. Give it a try, shall we? Right. Ooh.